Creepy history facts that will keep you up at night. Some pieces of history aren't just surprising, they're chilling to the bone. These facts reveal the darker, often horrifying, side of human history, from strange cultural practices to macabre events that will make you wonder how they ever happened. Here are 10 historical facts so unsettling they might just haunt your thoughts for days. Fact number 1. The heir to Jameson whiskey allegedly bought a child to feed to cannibals. In 1888, James Jameson, the heir to the Jameson whiskey empire, joined an expedition through the Belgian Congo under the leadership of the infamous colonizer Tip. Jameson reportedly became curious about cannibalistic practices he'd heard of and wanted to witness them in action. According to Asad Farron, a Sudanese translator, Jameson arranged the purchase of a young, enslaved girl, offering 6 handkerchiefs as payment to local villagers. The harrowing scene, as recounted by Farron, involved the girl being tied to a tree while tribespeople sharpened their knives. One of them then stabbed her twice in the belly, Farron reported, adding that Jameson allegedly sat watching and sketching each brutal moment. Though he was never formally charged, Jameson faced a scandal that nearly exposed the dark side of his character. With the aid of his family and colonial authorities, the incident was largely hushed up. The story later became an unsettling legend that still stains the Jameson legacy. Number 2. A Frenchman named Tarre ate practically everything he could find, including corpses. Tarre, born in 1772, was one of history's most notorious medical anomalies. His insatiable appetite defied all reason, leading him to consume everything from live animals to enormous portions of raw meat in a single sitting. Initially, his bizarre habits made him a spectacle, with people coming to watch his grotesque eating displays. However, over time, his appetite grew even more unnatural. When he enlisted in the French Revolutionary Army, Tarre was admitted to a hospital due to his extreme condition. Witnesses recorded horrifying incidents during his stay, such as when he ate raw cats, snakes, and even attempted to devour hospital corpses. Even more horrifying was the disappearance of a 14-month-old infant, whom hospital staff suspected he had consumed. Though he died young at 26, his story became a dark cautionary tale, and modern researchers speculate he may have had polyphagia, an uncontrollable hunger condition linked to hypothalamic damage. Number 3. Human remains were once common ingredients in medicine. From the 16th through the 18th centuries, corpse medicine was a disturbing yet accepted part of medical practice in Europe. Believing in the power of mumia, a substance made from the preserved remains of ancient Egyptian mummies, European physicians prescribed it for ailments ranging from headaches to internal bleeding. Pulverized mummy remains were mixed with various solutions and ingested as a supposed cure-all. Dr. Robert James, an 18th-century physician, described it in grim detail, under the name of mummy or comprehended, a liquament obtained in sepulchres, by exudation from carcasses embalmed with aloes, myrrh, and balsam. Physicians also used the skulls and bones of freshly deceased individuals, grounding them into powder and selling it as mummy powder. This gory practice, ironically, was rooted in a desire for good health and eerie reminder of the lengths to which humans have gone in search of cures. Number 4. Mike the Headless Chicken lived for 18 months without his head. In September 1945, a farmer named Lloyd Olson in Fruita, Colorado, intended to kill a chicken for dinner. After beheading the bird, Olson was stunned to find it still alive. The chicken, later named Mike, survived because the cut had missed its jugular vein and left part of its brainstem intact, allowing Mike to function despite his beheading. Mike's existence defied belief. Olson and his wife fed him with a dropper, putting grain and water directly down his exposed esophagus. Mike's bizarre survival became a nationwide sensation, with Olson charging people 25 cents to see the headless wonder. Reporters from Life magazine documented Mike's peculiar life, as he traveled across the U.S. on a freak show tour. Eventually, however, Mike choked and died after 18 months of headless existence, his strange resilience a curiosity that persists as one of nature's oddest events. Number 5. Ted Bundy worked at a suicide hotline, trying to help people. While studying psychology in the early 1970s, Ted Bundy, later infamous as a serial killer, took a job at a Seattle suicide hotline. His role was to help people in despair find hope, a chilling irony considering Bundy's later crimes. The man who would go on to commit horrifying murders was, for a time, a voice of comfort for those struggling with mental health issues. Psychologist Dr. Daryl Turner explains this unsettling behavior, noting, "Psychopaths will put themselves in a position to learn what normal people are like." Working on the Hotline may have been Bundy's way of studying human vulnerability. Even his co-worker, the future true crime author and Rule, remembered him as kind and helpful, a terrifying testament to his manipulative nature. Number 6. 18th century dentures were made from soldiers' teeth. During the 18th century, dental hygiene was poor, and wealthier Europeans sought dentures to replace decayed teeth. After the Battle of Waterloo in 1815, scavengers combed the battlefield not just for valuables but for the teeth of fallen soldiers. Known as Waterloo teeth, these stolen teeth were crafted into dentures for the rich, boiled and shaped to fit clients' mouths. This grim practice speaks to the desperation for medical solutions, with the wealthy willing to wear dentures sourced from the dead. Waterloo teeth symbolize an eerie chapter in dentistry and underscore the unique and sometimes creepy solutions people once turned to for cosmetic and health needs. Number 7. Ancient Romans used human urine as a teeth whitener. Romans valued oral hygiene, and one of their primary tools was ammonia, found in abundance in human urine. Romans used aged urine as a rinse, believing it could whiten teeth, and diluted it for laundry cleaning as well. In his famous verses, Roman poet Catullus mocked the Spaniard Ignatius for his sparkling teeth, claiming they were so polished because he brushed them with urine each morning. Ammonia does, indeed, have cleansing properties, making this practice oddly sensible if highly unappealing. The Romans' urine-based mouthwash is a reminder of how past societies sometimes embraced surprisingly practical, if distasteful, solutions. Number 8. Madame Tussaud was forced to create death masks during the French Revolution. Before her name became synonymous with lifelike wax figures, Marie Groscholtz, better known as Madame Tussaud, found herself imprisoned during the French Revolution due to her association with the royal family. She was forced to prove her loyalty to the revolutionary government by creating death masks of executed nobles, including Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette. Though she would later achieve fame for her wax figures, Tussaud's origins were steeped in darkness. She was compelled to create these likenesses as proof of her loyalty to the new regime, turning her art into a chilling commemoration of the revolution's bloodiest episodes. Number 9. The Chabat tiger killed more than 400 people before being hunted. Between the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the Chabat tiger, a Bengal tigress, terrorized villages across Nepal and India, claiming over 400 lives. Driven from her territory by hunters, she crossed the border into India and continued her deadly spree, killing villagers on a near-daily basis. The people of the region lived in constant fear until famed British hunter Jim Corbett was tasked with tracking her. Corbett's hunt led him through remote forests and villages until he finally cornered the tiger in 1907. After a tense standoff, he shot her, ending her reign of terror. The Chabat tiger's killing spree remains one of the deadliest in recorded history, underscoring the dangers that once lurked in the dense forests of South Asia. Number 10. The inventor of Pringles had his ashes placed in a Pringles can. Frederick Bauer, the inventor of the iconic Pringles Can, changed the world of snack storage in 1966 when he developed the can's cylindrical shape, allowing chips to be neatly stacked rather than crumbled in bags. So proud was Bauer of his invention that, in the 1980s, he expressed a strange wish to his family: he wanted to be buried in a Pringles can. When Bauer passed away in 2008, his children honored his request, placing some of his ashes in an original flavor Pringles can before burying him. "When my dad first raised the burial idea in the 1980s, I chuckled about it," said his son, Larry. Bauer's unique resting place speaks to the quirky legacy he left, preserving his place in snack food history even in death.